glad that y'all can make it back to the Chaotic Kitchen with me. If you're new here, my name is Mickey, your neighborhood dabbler, and I just be doing what I can in the kitchen, okay? Period. Did y'all miss me? I missed y'all too. No, but for real though, I am hungry. Today, I'm going to be making it's not nothing crazy, nothing chaotic. If you know me, you know I love a good fish. Salmon, cod, snapper, whatever. I ain't gonna lie, that's the only type of fish that I be eating. So today, we're gonna be making a salmon dinner, and then I'm gonna pair it with a couple of my favorite sides: garlic parmesan orzo, some smoky Brussels sprouts. Okay? Period. I was doing my shopping for this video. I just went to the store and I wanted a marinade for my salmon because I usually just season it, but like I want something different. So I picked up this marinade sauce. I've never tried it before. Honestly, I've never seen it, but I was like, let me just see what it's talking about because it does not seem like it'll be disgusting. And then I can add other stuff to it to make it like my own unique taste or preferred taste. Before we go any further, y'all already know what I need you to do. Like this video, make sure you drop a comment below, and then make sure you subscribe to my channel. The Chaotic Kitchen is only one series that I would like to premiere on this channel, but I need to make sure that y'all rocking with me for real. So make sure you lock in. If there's something that you want to see me do, if there's something you want to see me make, or have any feedback, anything that you want to say to your girl, drop it in the comments. I'm just a novice at this YouTube stuff, so I'm trying to be open to feedback and listen to what my viewers are saying so that I can build my platform. That was vulnerable. That was vulnerable. Wait a minute. Anyway, what we came here to do today is cook. We came to cook some good food at that. Make sure that you have all your materials ready, okay? Because we're about to lock in. We're about to get started. Grab your notepad, grab your pen, your pencil, your Sharpie, your sticky notes, your note app, whatever it is that you want to take notes with. Class is in session, so let's get started. Are you ready? Ho, ho, to go down. If you know, you know. A little flashback Friday for your ass. Okay. But for real though, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. So let's go! Okay, so boom. We're going to start out by seasoning our salmon. I did it on a parchment paper because I needed my cutting board and I didn't feel like washing it because I'm a little lazy, but that's neither here nor there. So I sprinkled them with some Old Bay, some paprika, some garlic powder, and some black pepper. Wiped them down with a little bit of oil, not too much, and then I did the same thing on the other side. Didn't want to go too heavy on the oil only because I didn't know how much was in the marinade, but I think I did, a pretty decent amount because they came out pretty moist. Now I've heard people say they marinate their meat differently, but I usually put anything that I marinate in a plastic bag just so that I can control how much air is in it, and also make sure like if I want to toss it around, I could toss it around without it spilling out. So here I go putting my salmon in the bag. If you want, you could put it in a container and just make sure that you cover it with your marinade completely. But like I said, I like a bag because I can, control, and I can see exactly what's going on, and I can flip it and all that good stuff. Once I feel like I have enough marinade to cover all of my fishies, I put it in the refrigerator, and I left these to marinate for probably about 5 hours. If you don't have that long, it's cool, but the longer, the better. So after my fishies were ready to sit in the fridge, I started working on my Brussels sprouts. I cut the butts off of mine, and then I cut them in half just because it makes me feel like I have more, and I feel like that allows the flavor to seep in a little bit more. I usually clean mine before, but if you want to clean them after, that's also okay. I had to put something down under my cutting board so I didn't end up losing a finger. But anyway, I cut them all down, and then I put them in a plastic bag because I also want these to marinate. This step is optional, but like I said, it allows the flavors to kind of deepen a little bit better and makes the Brussels sprouts a little bit more flavorful, and I just like them like that. Especially if I have the time to do it, I'll just throw them in a bag and let them sit for an hour or two. These you can pretty much season with anything, but I have like a certain go-to that I know is always going to turn out right. I start out with black pepper, and then I put in some Dash or Mrs. Dash, also some chili powder, some onion powder. I usually do garlic, like minced garlic, but I forgot, so I did garlic powder, and then some steak seasoning as well. Now the second part to this marinade is like a little sauce. It's basically just butter, soy sauce, and honey. Y'all know I don't be measuring, so I mean, just throw in however much of each that you prefer to use and stir really well before you pour it onto your Brussels. If you want, you could also throw in a little bit of oil just to loosen up the sauce and the seasoning so that it spreads more thinly. Is thinly even a word? Did I just make that up? Maybe not. But anyway, before you put this in the fridge, you make sure you give it a really good shake. Make sure you spread out all of those seasonings to your little baby cabbages. And then you can let this sit in the fridge for at least an hour. But like I say, the longer the better. So after you've let them marinate or not, I mean, like I said, marinating them was optional, but I usually bake mine on 400 in a little glass dish. I would say I bake them for about 40 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, but I like them a little bit crispy, a little bit burnt, not too black, but I leave them uncovered and I stir them every few minutes just so that they don't burn. Okay, y'all, so this is the orzo. It's pasta. Orzo is pasta, but it's rice. That don't make sense, but it makes sense. So I boil my water first. This is chicken broth and water mixture. I did half and half, and then to it I sprinkled black pepper, some sea salt, and added some minced garlic. I let it boil, and then once I saw that it was boiling, I turned it down, added my orzo, and then I made sure that I stirred it every few minutes and just kept an eye on it so that they didn't stick or burn. I usually let it cook until the water is like gone, once I can tell that it's been basically drained and cooked thoroughly. And then you can do like a texture test just to make sure that it's to the texture that you prefer. So this part is optional, but I like the spinach in it. So, it's a wasp in my car, y'all. Okay, y'all, sorry. Spinach is optional. I put mine in there after my orzo has cooked thoroughly. I put my spinach in there. I add a little bit more water, and I make sure that all of my spinach, is that plural? Either way, I make sure that they're covered as much as they can be covered. And for this specific recipe, I use some heavy cream, a heavy cream alternative to be exact, and this will also speed up the cooking process for the spinach. So this is on a low simmer. Once I see that my spinach has cooked all the way down, that's when I start to add my cheese. Don't judge me, I use the sprinkled cheese just because that's all I had. I didn't want to use my cheese alternative for this because it don't be melting. Y'all be seeing. But you know, cheese is cheese, so whatever you got, use that. So I gave it a good little whip stir, and I just wanted to make sure that all my cheese was melted and or like disintegrated, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, that's it. That's really all it is to it. Okay, so I bought out my good old griddle. I don't recommend, I'm gonna be completely honest. If you have a griddle better than this one, use that, but I don't recommend this one, so I'm not gonna tell y'all where it came from. Make sure you spray your surface so that this doesn't stick. Go ahead and lay those bad boys on there. And I made a mistake, guys. These turned out a little more charred than I prefer because I poured the marinade on the griddle. That was not smart. Y'all don't have to do that. You really don't. You can leave that part out and just brush it on there if you feel froggy, okay? I'm not gonna lie, I did like this marinade. I love the taste of it. I think it could go, like, I could add a little bit more cayenne to make it a little bit more spicy, and maybe just add a little bit more seasonings overall to spice it up. But the flavor was definitely there. Like, this is probably, I'm probably gonna use this again, because it was really good. If y'all have this in a store near you, you should try it out. Y'all see this blackened salmon? It wasn't even intentionally supposed to be blackened, but hey, it tasted great. Like, it didn't taste burnt at all, and that's what I love. But this griddle is still kind of sucky. I ain't even gonna hold you. So by this time, my Brussels were done. I went ahead and I removed them. This is what they look like after me, leaving them for about 40-ish minutes. Sorry, I don't have an exact measurement, but this is how I like them. They're not too black. They're just perfect to me. So this dish was like the perfect balance of like spicy, sweet, and savory. I feel like the orzo / rice was it was cheesy enough to set off the spiciness in the Brussels, and also paired really well with the fish. So I give this plate hate to toot my own horn, I give this plate a 10 out of 10, babe. Like, it was just great, because even when I warmed the salmon up the next day, it was great. Like, it was cooked to perfection. It was very soft. It wasn't like dry or nothing. I really like this meal, and I hope y'all do too. Point blank period. Don't ever say that I ain't done nothing for you, because I shared with y'all. I really hope y'all like this. I will see y'all next time on the Chaotic Kitchen. Bye.